The Church of the Immense Prophets is brought to you by Oxyacetylene Clean. It goes through stains like Sherman through Georgia. The past couple of weeks have been, after the surprise and grief of losing my brother of over half a century, a reorganization of socio-psychological snurdurfants. Yes, Virginia, that is a made-up word, but it does adequately express my feelings. Thankfully, the grief and surprise have been short periods of time because of the sick and twisted view of the world in my possession. That we are, as Father Pierre Teilhard de Chardin wrote, not human beings having a spiritual experience, but are spiritual beings having a human experience. To which may be added that it is a very transitory experience, so we might accept its fragility of time and shut the hell up about it. Grief is a signpost along the road. You slow down enough to read it, and then you keep on going. It's stupid to stop and study it. Its message is short, and we have other signs and mileposts to pass. So check your mirrors, put your signal on, then ease down on the skinny pedal as much as is needed to get back into the flow of traffic. In this case, and along with others of great note, my duty has been to try to help sort out the grains of sand in the dunes of his life. And he left a truckload of sand. And it has to be sifted because there are some things of value in it, some of surprising value, along with the common seashells and the dead seagull carcasses and plastic bottles washed up on the beach. And there's some interesting driftwood in there, too. But there are also things found that reveal different and unknown sides of his character, none of which need to be gone into here, but let's just say none were illegal, immoral, or fattening. So any thoughts that he was a drug kingpin with 4 1/2 tons of Peruvian dancing powder in the spare tire of his Ford, possessor of Frank Zappa records, or fatty tissue to be consumed are just plain wrong. For the most part, he was as dull a boy as we thought. The last thing on that list, edible fat, is especially worth noting since a certain amount of anorexia may have been a factor in his demise. He was by choice not a fellow who toted around a lot of body fat. While not a gym rat, he was very active and kept his weight down to a point his doctor told him to chunk up, and he didn't. Weighing too little can sometimes be as hard on a heart as weighing too much, especially if there's trauma involved. In contemplating the end of his body's life, because it's certain to this boy that the spirit goes on and leaves it behind, my thoughts have gone back to the number of times in the decades of short stories written by me that the aftermath of losing a loved one brings unexpected knowledge about the departed. In one, a pair of granddaughters cleaning up Grandma's estate find the tools of her craft and discover that in her earlier years she was a likely well-paid dominatrix, and that explains a lot of the behaviors of Grandma and Grandpa. In another, a friend in his last hours asks his long-time best friend to forego being there at the moment of his impending death in order to hand-deliver a large cashier's check to a woman he has kept on the side, so to speak, for years outside his marriage. There are other stories like this based on the learning of secrets and bequests that alter perceptions about someone the story's protagonist thought they knew. But at the core of my being, my belief is that at some time, someplace, every one of these stories are true and have actually happened. And it wasn't so much guesswork or making up stuff on my part, but the numbers that don't lie. And the moral of the horse story is, watch out for the skeletons you leave behind. The rattling of their bones can be as loud as a heavy metal concert, deafening to the senses and sensibilities. And in total honesty, let me just state that my greatest fear is that my remaining avant-garde music-loving friends will find out that in my record collection, all the works of a certain pop music icon of a yesteryear reside. A person whom Craig Ferguson made reference to when he said, "I know what you're thinking. I'm just another late-night TV host who thinks Neil Sedaka is a war criminal." Rest in peace, Doctor. Your secrets are safe with me, except for the ones I blabbed to others, just to keep them guessing. The Church of the Immense Prophets has been brought to you by Petrol-Dent Toothpaste, a toothpaste made from gasoline. Gets your teeth very clean, but don't kiss your spouse if they smoke. Available in mint or methanol flavor.